peace, power, and love, eternal love, universal love from the universe, by divine decree from the Creator of everything known and unknown. Humam Abdulmalik, once again, before the sunrise, with Blackanized international Nubian consciousness, conscious chess moves, up again to motivate, stimulate, and agitate. Because it's never too late for us to rise up and become unified and organized and develop an infrastructure for our survival. We've been through everything that they thrown at us, shown us, all the negativity and lies and his lies about our story and his deception about his story, which don't exist. I got this alkaline water with some honey ginger crystals. I need it. But anyway, I'm kind of cold this morning. My spirit is cold. My soul is cold, so I wrapped in something that's related to our energy, divine energy, of one of our masterminds that gave us the red, black, and green. Do you know what it truly means? As we try to find methodologies to reach our young warriors, our young soldiers in the community, a worldwide epidemic. All the way in South Africa, we got Africans killing each other while they don't do nothing to the Afrikaners who dealt with apartheid in their country, who took all the resources, the gold and silver. Yeah, I'm cold this morning. I'm cold. As some of our people get ready to go to the temple or the steeple or in the church, I hope you pray for me, because in prayer there is power, and power is prayer. When we do it collectively, and that energy and that synergy bring us together in unity. And that's what it's all about. And my topic this morning, or what it surrounds, is reaching our young warriors, young soldiers that's on these street corners nationwide, from D.C., Baltimore, Virginia, Maryland, Chicago, and all that, whatever they, put on the news. They put on the news to confuse us. That sensationalism that they spread out to the world and say, see, that's why we treat them that way. Because they deserve to be treated that way, because they act like animals. They predatory against their own selves. It got to stop. And how does it stop? We got to go talk to our young soldiers and brothers. I mean, we tried to do, the basketball and a whole lot of other things. Those activities are good. They're going to get that in school, in that institutionalized, institutionalized racism and white supremacy, social engineering, because that's what they got for us set out. They got us to be football players, baseball players, basketball players, and boxers and rappers and entertainers and actors. But in reality, we need some doctors. We need some lawyers. We need more real politicians, not polytricksters. We need physicists. We need engineers. We need all those things. We keep pushing our children to be the best athlete. Let's push our children to be the best academic mind on the planet. Let's push our children to be the Imhotep of the modern day. But we got to get and know who we are. We got to go back to the ancient future to know our story, what our ancestors left for us above the doors of the initiation of education, where it say, know thyself. You have to go into your temple in the energy of the Creator, which is in our temple, to know who we are. So we have to study ourselves, because in our DNA is where the divine script lays. And be prepared, because it might cut off, because they talk about the application get too hot. Where I'm cold this morning. I'm cold. And I put on the wrap of my ancestors. Marcus Mosai Garvey gave us these colors, and they represent the land that we tilled, the land all over this planet Earth. When we had it was harmony and peace. The land is the green, and the black is that melanated, carbonated, melanated essence of who we are. When it stimulates the pituitary and pineal gland, it opens up that divine essence of clarity that's within our temple. We got to understand the sciences of the chakra centers and the kundalini up our spinal cord. We got to understand the signs of that pure energy. We got to understand that. But this topic tonight is on reaching out warriors. And I think what we got to do, because we know everybody who's everything and what they're doing in our community, but we are soldiers also. We're not agent provocateurs. We're not no slave catchers. That's why we got to set up a meeting without the slave catchers. This have like the Nation of Islam will be our security, and those of us who come out of from the colleges that's unique and that are well respected. We got the Alliance of the Concerned Men. We got Malik Al Farrakhan that don't cease the fire, don't smoke the brothers and sisters. We got those type of entities. We got Brother Ron Moulton. We got the Councilman Trayon White. We got Minister Kadir. We got Reverend Wilson. We got to come together. That's us. That's us, and pull those other people together. And like what's his name? Malik Farrakhan always talk about a moratorium on violence. Not this for 6 months or a month or whatever. We need a meeting so we can stop this, so we can change our mentalities, our thinking, so that we can develop what our young warriors need and want. We got to go talk to them. We can't go in no meeting setting with no police and all that, even though that's what they do. But it ain't about that, because they don't even want to be around the police. They want to be around themselves. But we got to bring them together in peace and harmony, man. In all these little enclaves of the street corners that they become, thinking they control, but they only being victims of slavery. Because that's the essence of what's going to happen. You can get away for a while, but it ain't going to last, because they know. They got satellites up in the sky that see activities that's going on, but they let it go on because it's us being affected by it. Like the brother Jeff Candy said something about this morning, talking about eugenics and some other stuff that be taking place in our city, locally. But it's a worldwide epidemic, because that's what we're dealing with. We're dealing with a natural enemy, and we got to know that and believe that. And in the essence of who we are as a people, a divine people, we got to get in line and alignment with this energy. I don't care if you're Christian, Muslim, or Jew, but we got to go back to African spirituality, where it all began. Because if we the original people, this information lies with us. And also I read something else today. I don't know how true it is, but it said the Pope is going to, in their cells or whatever under the ground, in some ancient scrolls, they're going to talk about who God really is, the name of God or whatever he said. Now all of a sudden now he want to say who God is. What is he going to say? I want to hear that myself, because they stole everything from us and they got all our information under the Vatican. We got to know that as a people. We got to know that they distorted what we call religion. We got to know that religions are man-made political systems to control us. But when we practice our African spirituality the way it's supposed to be practiced, we come together in unity. We come together in unity, and that's what we got to realize. If we don't, we're going to continue to die. Not us per se, but our youth, the younger generation, is going to die, because that's the eugenics that the brother Jeff Candy is talking about. That's the eugenics that everybody is talking about, that's conscious, that's awoke and not sleep or mentally dead. And what else? What else I want to say this morning to stimulate us and motivate us? Because I'm cold. My soul, my spirit is cold, because I'm tired of every day I get up. Every day it's a police or ambulance or police behind the ambulance or police, whatever, in our communities. Let's control our communities. Let's take back our communities. Let's take black our communities and make our communities black orientated, because this is where we are. Let's stop letting them put all this sensationalism and deceptions and propaganda. What they say now today is fake news. They always bring something up to distort or take us off course. That's why we got to develop an infrastructure. That's why we got to do it. Because they playing political poker with our lives. They playing political poker with our lives. They are implementing what they've been trying to do for years. This ain't nothing happening new. They got to a point where they done push this and push this and push this and all that, and they think they ready. They think they ready for the new world order out of chaos and confusion. I say the tsunami that still might be coming down the line, I don't know. But I ain't for sure of an anarchy or police state. Or they was pushing for a race war. That's why all the police was killing and they was letting it be seen. But have you seen any lately? They ain't showing it now like they did before. But it said that it's still going on. And it's a process that they got in process. But we can't get caught up in what they doing. It ain't even about the European no more. It's about us. It's about us as black men and black women standing up as the divine human beings that we are. And the ones that know got to show and tell the ones that don't know. The ones that don't have and the ones that got, we got to help each other. We got to deal with the institutionalization of Kwanzaa and stop practicing these unholy holidays. Every holiday it's a flip side to it. All you got to do is Google it and ask, what's the other side of Valentine? It'll tell you. The Lupernalia, the practice of it in the Roman culture. And if you know your history, you know each culture that's in control of this society today, in control of the world, the 13 families, the Vatican, Rome, and England, and the Corporation of America and all that. But the culture people that's in control of them, why do you think all of a sudden everybody pushing homosexuality? You tell me, because the people that's in control of the world, that's their culture. That's where they come from in the ancient past. Look at the Greeks. Look at the Romans. Look at the Jews. That's historical data and fact. All you got to do is go black and see and stop being caught up in this so-called mystery of the story that is true. That's where we got to go. We got to go back within ourselves and deal with our natural inclination, our spiritual divine essence as a melanated people. Melanin that's in us to stimulate that pineal and pituitary gland that opens our eyes beyond the physical. Because that's what they, you see, we got to study and read. You got to get a book or come across it called a bell curve. Google it, bell curve. That's the social institutionalized manipulation where they, it's like the little mouse in the laboratory. They treat us like that. That's how they look at us, because they know we're divine people, but they came in and put that veil over our eyes and over our minds, and they control that. But not now, because the divine decree has, in the age of Aquarius, is upon us. All you got to do is open up to that energy, that divine energy, and be real with it. It's about learning and knowing who you are today so you can be the shining star, so that you can be an example in our communities. And back again to what my topic is today, is what we got to do is go on them, all the nooks and crannies in our community and talk to the brothers, talk to the young warriors and bring them together and overcome this hostility against each other that they've been manipulated to by design to be under robot control to pull that trigger. We got to reach their minds and their spirits. That's how we reach them. We can play sports all day. They do that all day. They come together and do all that. I guess it'll work. But we can see if it'll work. If it haven't worked all these years, we got professional athletes. We got here's something getting ready to do. But whatever it cut off, it cut off. I think I done enough and said enough to make us wake up this morning when we go to church, go with the thought of unifying, and organizing, and coming black into ourselves, knowing who we are. And if our institutions of religion don't bring us together, then why are we worshiping or practicing in there? Because if it's only one creator, one, it's only one. It ain't many. Because if it was, it'd be like, what is the brother name? The Word of Gods. See, it would be like that, but it ain't. It's one natural origin of this thing, of this divine decree, this divine essence. And it brought all this together. It brought all this, and we just a part of it. We are part of it. Each human being is a part of it. And we got different aspects of our being. Some people don't have that melanin and that divine essence in them because they was stagnant. It was say it was frozen or petrified in them caves and all that. And when they came out the caves, they just came out this so goddamn on beast-like. They were beast-like because they lived with the beast. They lived with the wolves up there fighting. They had to fight for their food. They practiced bestiality. That's a reality. Look it up. I ain't just saying this. Look it up, study. That's what it's about. Study of self. Once you study yourself, everything else open up to you. And I just want to say in the love of us, of yourself, when you look in that mirror, when you're brushing your teeth and you look in that mirror, question yourself why you do the things that you do. If it ain't about bringing us together in unity and peace and love, being the fathers and being the mothers to raise our children. Excuse me. We got to raise our children, man, properly. We can't lose our children. We can't lose the next generation of our children with this generation gap that's created. I ain't talking about a generation gap between parent and child. I'm talking about a missing group of people, a whole generation. We went through a tsunami before in the late 70s and the early 80s when the CIA brought all that cocaine on the West Coast and then they turned it to crack. It just tore us up as a people. First, before that, the FBI brought the heroin in, right? And had us in a nod. But the other thing brought us in and just took everything. It ain't put us in a nod, it put us up. And we wanted to get that euphoria and it destroyed family members. Now they bring this other stuff, 2K and Flacca and all that. They preparing us for some zombies, some real cannibals. I mean, they done showed some of this stuff on Facebook where people that's smoking flack and all that become like cannibalistic and real. I thought they'd be in the movies. They show they be walking all slow, but these people be running fast and all that. So we gotta prepare for everything that they're creating in this realm, in this realm and the dimension that we're in. But not to mention that who we are as a people, we also got to prepare, not only on a physical level, but a spiritual level, an energetic level, a quantum level. We got to get in out of the paradigm of being enslaved medically, educationally, and spiritually. We got to wake up and come out. We got to resurrect and come out of being mentally dead or spiritually dead or mentally enslaved or spiritually enslaved. See, over there on the other continent where they got all the resources to control everything, they have a colonized mentality. And over here where we went through what we do, a lot of us got an enslaved mentality. No matter what we say, we're going to be in that mental grave. But no, not now. We're going to wake. We're going to motivate. We're going to stimulate. And we're going to wake up our brothers and sisters. We're going to, every day we get up, whatever we do, whatever our job, we're going to give a energetic, emanating spirit of love and peace, you know, to each and every one of us. We're going to overcome that mentality. Oh, man, we can't do that. We can't do that. The same thing we say here in America. Man, we can't unify. We can't do that. The same thing they say in those 53 countries over there in Africa. Well, we can't come to that. Well, you had brothers that stood up. Kwame and Turi, what's his name? These brothers like in the Congo, Patrice Lumumba. All these brothers were trying to get a United States of Africa. And what they do, they assassinate them. They send the CIA or the NSA or the NSC, and they plot and plan and all that, and they assassinate them, overtake the country, and put a puppet in there, a person with a colonized mentality. And the most recent of those was the brother Gaddafi. And the other one was Humam Hussein. They went in there to destroy that country take all the history away, to destroy the history, the culture, and then take all their money. You seen all them trucks, them big old tractor trailers that you ain't never seen that big, had all the gold in there and all the money in there, all the currency of the people. And what did they do with it? And not only that, here in America, in the Pentagon, before the 9/11 situation, exactly where that airplane hit, they're talking about they was missing, what, $3.2 trillion they couldn't account for, but the plane hit exactly where they was doing all that calculation at. So you know what we're dealing with. We're dealing with a decrepit, demonic, hypocritical society on the political side of it. See, it's supposed to be about the government of the people. And it's supposed to be about the people. But the people, as they say, is like sheeple. I mean, like sheep being led to a slaughter. They got everything going against us. They got eugenics, like the good, great mind of Brother Jeff Candy talked about this morning. And that's been going on for years. They got the, the abortion thing, the rate upon us. You know, the greatest death rate among us is abortion. All the killing and all that is abortion. That's like self-inflicted genocide. Even the killing in our community among the young warriors and all that is self-inflicted genocide. But it ain't totally us. You can't tell me that. I don't gamble. But I'll tell you, I base a donut on a muffin. Then you got some agent provocateurs from the system sneaking in there and taking us out for body parts, or my grandmother used to say, the night doctor snatching our children up. And I ain't never heard it being locally, but it's local here in Ward 8, Washington, D.C., and probably all throughout the country. But we not cognizant of that, or aware of that. And we got to be more aware of what's going on in our communities, because we are the protectors. We are, I ain't gonna say police, we are the guardians. That's what we are. Like they had the guardian angels. We are the guardians here in our communities. And we got to realize that, based on love, peace, and justice. I love the discipline of my brothers in the Nation of Islam. I love it. I respect it. And the FOI. I love that discipline. The same discipline that they got, we got to have or give our young warriors on them street corners. We got to bring them off the corner because they say they got to do that because they got to eat. If they want to be responsible, we got to force the hand of this government or these entrepreneurs or whoever, the affluent or whatever. Only way we're going to come together is we come together. Give them what they want, so it ain't no more excuses. Give them a responsibility. Give them a way of making some legit money. Give them a way to come together in harmony and peace and stop being enemies of each other by the bell curve. That social engineering got us acting like gerbils on the wheel. Got us acting like when they inject some other vaccination in us, it really aimed to kill. We got to come out that paradigm of the mental enslavement of the medical industry. And we got to go to quantum health, informational health. We got to come out of that. We so caught up on that. And we don't know where we go in the hospital for one thing. They give a medicine for something else, or we go in there and we don't come back out and all that. We got to realize that there's a war, a spiritual war, a mental war, a physical war against us as a people, because we are divine people. They know more about us and our story than we know about ourselves. The Vatican talking about he going to tell the truth now about who God really is, who the name of God really is, or whatever. And we know all the stuff they got under that in their cellar comes from us. We know that. Good alkaline water. Somebody said that alkaline water ain't no good. I'm telling you about it right now. I'm going to just start drinking, as long as it's liquid and don't come out that faucet where I know some lead in it. I'm going to start drinking it, but I'm going to keep with this alkaline first and foremost. And, keep studying. I'm going to keep studying myself to elevate my spirituality so that when I one day be able to transmute just because I want to and step through another realm or dimension then I will be highly blessed by the Creator if I can get to that level. But mentally and spiritually, I'm going to speak those words into existence because of my love for myself and the love of my people and love of my ancestors. I'm talking about, man, my ancestors that was hung and lynched for what? For having Wall Street, for being business entrepreneurs. That's what the real reason for lynching. You got to know our history. Most of the brothers that were lynched were in suits. The Europeans were jealous and envious of how we ran ourselves. See, when we talk about politics and all that and politics and all that, see, we talk about integration was so harmful to us. Integration is like assimilation. And if integration is assimilation, then assimilation is emulation. You become like who you be around. You become like because you're in this system. It's a systematic trap perpetrated by those who we want to change, but it ain't no change. We just going into a system, assimilating, being pulled in this system like a vacuum. And we say this is where it get done. How it get done where you know the laws are fraudulent, you know. Maybe we can get done. Maybe we can get money to come our way. Well, if it is that way, then do that. But the most important thing right now in our communities, not only in Washington, D.C., Ward 8, but all over Washington, Maryland, D.C., Baltimore, New York, all that, across this country, across the waters, on the whole planet Earth, is us coming together and unified, especially in this day and time. The political climate is very, very, it's cold. I feel cold. Trying to get that natural heat, trying to get that natural energy to rise up to where we're supposed to be, to get it black once again, to the matriarchy, divine key, harmony and peace. The energy and vibration and frequency was at a high level, and we was in harmony and peace. I seen a brother, he was reporting on here in Costa Rica, talking about, he got out. Yeah, he got out, I guess, I don't know. I want to get out too, but I just don't want to go and I leave my people. I guess I'm connected that way. That might be I don't know. I love myself and I love my people. If I get an opportunity to go, I may go, but I want to go and I don't want to just leave. They say don't leave no brother behind. No brother or sister or family behind. If I leave, I want us all to be on that divine energy and frequency that I know we're going to be all right. If I go to a harmonious place on this planet Earth. But I can't lead the war when the war going on, when I'm a part of the war. It don't even feel right if I would do that. But the brother was in Costa Rica, right? And he was living it up. Oh, there go my sister. Me and this sister go back to junior high. I love this sister. I loved her back then, and I love her more right now because she's a sister of healing arts. And I know I ain't get back with you because I was doing some other things, but I'm talking about my sister. Peace and power, Hotep, Ashe, and love to you, my sister. Keep up those healing arts that you practice. And I'm going to be back with you. And to all the people that may be listening, wherever they be listening at or from or on this planet, we got to keep this energy going. We got to build this energy up. We got to go back to the spiritual aspects of our being. We got to go back to African spirituality. That's where my sister Sandy at, in the practice of healing arts, herbs and spices and crystals and things of that. Alchemist, a female alchemist, and all that. And that's what we got to get back to, the natural aspect of our being, the superior divine aspect of our being in our temple, which is our body, and the energy of the Creator, which is in our body. Our body has the universe in it. We have to understand that in the chambers of the pyramids of our mind in order to have a divine effect upon the universe. You see how that go? Universe. As above, so below. As inside, as outside. We got to get into the sciences of our natural sciences, of our divine sciences. And the only way we can do that is go back to the African spirituality. We have to go back to the ancient future. to come up to this now. I guess I talked enough, because I said I was cold, and I'm still cold. My spirit and my soul is cold, because I want to be energetically connected to my brothers and sisters on them street corners, especially my young soldiers that's on the street corners, to get that discipline in them, to let them know who they are. They are our soldiers. They are our guardians in the community. And we got to make them realize that. And we can't do that by bringing what they look at as a natural enemy. We got to come together. Those of us who know has to go to them and bring them together. Sit down at a table and break bread. Let's do that. Let's break some bread with all these brothers. And we start with Ward A, because Ward A is all politics are local, they say. Or we can start in Washington, D.C. We can do a whole Washington, D.C., all the wards. We can't say all the wards, because I don't know what they're doing way uptown and all that, in Georgetown and all that. They don't have the activity in those areas that we have in our areas. I know, like Ward 7 and 8, and maybe, I don't know, the ward of Georgetown, George Avenue and all that area uptown in that area. But that's where we got to reach. We ain't got to reach those areas that they already gentrified and have all these Europeans and everything, all these buildings and businesses and all that. We got to save ourselves. And in doing so, this is where the heart of the fallacy at, the heart of the hurt at, the heart of the pain at. We got to do it right here, right now, and by our hand, by our methodology. It ain't all about shooting a basketball or, the boxing and all that. These are all good motives or whatever, but we got to bring peace, power, and love. I knew it was going to happen, but what I want to say, that we got to bring our brothers to the table. Break some bread and make it a whole Washington, D.C. thing with us, or just in Ward 8, since all politics are local. And let's bring the brothers to the table and break some bread with them and talk to them and ask them what they want and give them what they want. If they need jobs to be responsible, put food on the table, then give them jobs. Give them jobs that they will be satisfied with. But they got to put forth the effort too. It ain't no game. It ain't no joke. This is about survival. Not survival of the fittest, but the survival of the intelligent. The most intelligent will survive. And we are. We have the immortal factory in our being. It's a divine being. And we got to do this yesterday. We got to continue what we do in our communities to uplift our communities. How you doing, sister? You was on the other day. You back again. Stay black. Stay blessed. Man. In love. And the benefit of our people through this love and through this spirituality of getting back in contact with ourselves. To know thyself is the greatest venture there is on this planet. And know who we are. Know our real story. And not to get caught up in his lies of our story. And not to get discontained in 2017. Our story go way past that. And wait and see what this Vatican say about who is the God. The name of God, the true name of God, and all that. He just said that if this is a true story, that he's going to go down in the vault and say, yeah, born to write poet, my sister. Have a great day. Ashe, Hotep, peace, peace. In the blackness, matriarchic, melanated essence that you present as being an oracle, priestess, queen. But I want to say that we got to wait and see what he say, because all our information that they got under the Vatican in storage, he's supposed to go down there and tell us something about some ancient scrolls about the name of God or who God really is, their creation of God or whatever. But it's what the real story and the concept of God, because they stole everything from us. So with that, today I say, let's go motivate somebody, stimulate somebody, and through love. And when the ones of us who go to them churches today, pray for me, because there's power in prayer, and prayer is power. And when it's a unified effort, see, I need that prayer because my soul is cold, my spirit is cold, because it's still winter, right? We get in the early spring, it seems like, but there's no telling. They got the hop going on. They got the prophecies going on. Is it orchestrated or something like that, or is it by divine decree? Don't know, because we know the learned elders of Zion had this thing pieced and puzzled together by bloodlines. And that's what this whole democratic process of hypocrisy is about in the United States of hypocrisy under satanic administrations. Or should I say the United States of America, under the democratic system that we live under. Would that be real? Would I be fooling myself, telling the untruth, when we know it's politics being played by hypocrites? Some, not all. We got some warriors, some spiritual warriors that got to go. I remember Ron Dellings. I remember Mern Bird. I remember William Lockridge. Those people that I met and talked to or whatever. They talked to me and I felt their energy. We got a young warrior that I've been around, Trayon White, Councilman of Ward 8. I believe in this young brother. I believe that his tutelage under William Lockridge and Mern Bird, he got that spirit, that warrior spirit. And not only the people that's in the political arena, the people in the street, the people that we know who don't have ulterior motives, or not. No, I ain't going to say that. I'll just leave that alone. But we got to be aware of spiritual and culture agent provocateurs. We got to be the warriors that we are, seriously and sincere, without ulterior motives or none of that. If we ain't sincere, get out the way. There's a war going on, and the war is being waged against us as a people. So as I close, as always, I want my brothers and sisters to know that I love myself first. I got to love me in order to love you. And it ain't about me. It ain't about I or me. It's about us and we, collectively. And that's how it is. Divine, by the divine nature that's in us. See, that the universe connects to the universe. And this whole essence is in tune, and the synergy connects us. And we got to realize that. We got to go back to the ancient future and deal with African spirituality, whether we Christian, Muslim, or Jew. If it ain't bringing us together in unity, then I tell you, you got to do something else. You got to find something else in this day and time, in this political climate. Because this tsunami this time might blow your mind. And we got to study. Study. Got to study. Got to study, man. You can do it through the books, which I like doing, or you can go on the internet or whatever. But I like to read. I love reading. I love reading the masterminds, and I love looking at on YouTube, Phil Valentine, Umar Johnson, Professor Griff, young brother Pharaoh, Seti, all these people, masterminds, and George Yusuf Benikin, and all these masterminds, and Carter G. Woodson, and A.J. Rogers. All this information is pertinent. So to build us, that's the ammunition that we need mentally to derive that spiritual essence that we need to fortify ourselves as we walk out our doors in the day, and that energy that's being emanating from us, that when like minds see it, we know who we are. And then those that not on the level, they feel the energy. So that gives us the opportunity to speak into existence in their life. The ability to come into the fold of being strong, being a people, whatever you practice. Like I said, you practice Islam, Christianity, Hebrew, whatever. If it's not bringing us together, then it's the wrong thing that you're practicing. And none of us hold that master key. It's a united key to bring us together through respect and honor of all our leaders. All our leaders that have a spiritual, divine conception of us as a people. I'm a race man. I'm not racist. I love my people because of what we've been through. If we ain't go through what we've been through, what other people took us through, I wouldn't have this disposition. But I can't forgive or forget what happened to my ancestors. I'm not. That would be foolish on my part. And all this, like Black History Month, that ain't us. Our history is eternal, forever, from the beginning until it ends. We make history every day. So I don't let them validate me. They can't validate me because I won't let them validate me. And I won't let them validate you because I'm going to speak out against this foolishness. If it was a week at first, and then they're going to give us a month. They can't give us nothing. They can't give us nothing because their reality is based on a falsehood, on his lies. And then they try to tell us about African Black History Month. They destroy about the little patents that they really ain't give us, that they kept from us because we was in captivity. And they talk about all this slavery and all that. Talk about when we built the pyramids. Talk about Timbuktu, Mayla. Talk about the Dungo. All those people was related to us. Talk about the Native American indigenous in this country. That was us. We had 500 tribes, federations. We was living in harmony and peace. They got pictures that they don't show that it was like this. This is what the Native American was like. See this melanin? It was us, here and there. The whole planet was a black planet. With that, I say peace, power, and love. I was cold. My spirit was cold, and I had to put on a wrap, a mantle of our power, of our representation of power, of the blood we bled on this land and all over the world as melanated people, carbonated people from my brother Shaka. But in the essence of, we got to get control of the land. We got to get control of ourselves. And we got to stop bleeding our blood by our own hands. We're all going to die. We don't know when, where, or why. But we should know this. It shouldn't be by our own demise. We're in war, a silent war. We got a natural enemy. So with that, stop shedding our blood, our own blood. Self-inflicted genocide is worse than suicide. Ain't nothing like love, peace, and harmony generated from us, through us, to us. That's the only way we're going to take back our minds and develop the right spirit, and then we can deal with our communities. I love y'all. Peace.